I thought, wow, who's this person? He talked so much sense. I didn't know what was Kangen water. I had the machine for a few months, but I didn't understand the science, didn't know very much. And I found Sam on Facebook. I was, who's this guy? He's incredible. And then we talked, and then Sam called me. It's like, he didn't know me. And he called me up and he said, oh, how can I help you? I was like, wow. I was like, wow, Sam is so nice. How come he called me? I don't have nobody. And he said, like, I just want to help you. And he shared with me that Sam is also from my sister. He asked me, my challenges. My sister's in pharmaceutical science. My sister is doing her postdoctoral in cancer research. She didn't believe in electrolytes reduced water. She didn't believe in Kangen machine. And Sam was very kind. Was kind enough to offer to speak to my sister to share scientific data with my sister. So I was so moved by Sam. Sam is not, my upline. By helping me, he wouldn't get any financial benefits, but he just, because Sam has such a beautiful heart, he's here to help more people. And then when I heard about his story, I was even more intrigued. So Sam, can you tell us why, you gave up your job in pharmaceutical science and you were on six figures income, is that right?
Yeah.
And you gave up.
So, I'll share a little bit of my story. I'm an immigrant kid from Vietnam. I came over here to America at 6 years old. We went from after the Vietnam War, the country collapsed basically, and then we kind of hid out in the country for a couple of years as the communists took over, and then we were refugees on a boat. Basically, then we went to Malaysia and went to a refugee camp for 6 months, and we were waiting to be reassigned, I guess, to different countries. So I had my chance to come to France, to Australia, UK, and all these other different countries. But my dad said, no, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait to go to the USA because they have this constitution. They have this it's the land of opportunity, right? It's this the beacon of light in the world. Well, it used to be the beacon of light in the world, I guess. And so I grew up in Spokane, Washington. It's kind of cold over there, so that first winter there's a lot of snow. But I graduated high school over there and then went to the University of Washington. I was inspired to go into medicine because my grandma had a stroke when I was a teenager, and kind of seeing my grandma go through that kind of inspired me to go into healthcare and kind of try to figure out a cure or something like that. And so my brother's there's 5 kids in our family. My brother's a dentist, so I was actually supposed to become a dentist, but I didn't want to work with blood and spit all the time. And so I said, no, I don't want to become a dentist. So I went to laboratory automation. So I studied laboratory medicine at the University of Washington with a specialty in medical technology. And then I did that for 20 years and went to cancer research. And I ran the clinical pathology laboratory at Amgen. Amgen is a pretty big, it's kind of like the biotech equivalent to Pfizer. And so, you guys know about the Pfizer company, right? So it's a pretty big company. We made cancer therapies to help rebuild your immune system, rebuild your blood work after you get chemotherapy. So I thought I was doing something good there, but over the years, working in toxicology, looking at the side effects of all the drugs, I got this uneasy feeling that, man, I hope I don't get cancer because these drugs are pretty toxic. And so I started thinking in my head, like, what can I do to just avoid the whole cancer diagnosis, right? Because no one wants to take cancer just to take, free drugs, because that's a bad outcome. So I just want to stay a healthy person. And so, but maybe, Lina, maybe you can manage the mute from as people are joining on, mute the lines. But I was able to kind of see my role in the big pharma, and I wasn't really Big Pharma wasn't really solving anything. They're treating symptoms, but we weren't really curing people. We were like putting them on a treatment regimen, like a subscription that we call a prescription, right? It's the same thing, subscription, prescription, it's a monthly charge, right? And so I just said, I don't want any of that. And I just want to be healthy. And I started to look, I started to have this midlife crisis, and I hated Mondays and I loved Fridays just like everyone else, and I thought that was kind of weird because I was living the dream, immigrant kid from Vietnam, went to college. I only have a 4-year degree, but I was being paid extremely well because I was good at what I did, but I hated Mondays just like everyone else, and I said that's kind of weird. So what's going on with my life, and so I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't have passion for my work. And I thought that was a first world problem because, all my friends were looking at me saying that, Sam, your life is really good. Like you've really, reinvented yourself here. You like from immigrant to like cancer researcher, like you've gone the whole gamut here. But I just felt uneasy. I just felt unfulfilled, that it wasn't just about making money, but it was more about how you make your money is more important than how much money you make. Because if you make a lot of money but you're not doing good for the world, like it's tough to feel good inside.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, and so I had this midlife crisis. I became a ski instructor. I started skateboarding again with my kids at age probably 40. And then at 42, I fell and hit my head and cracked my head open, went into a coma. And in that coma, I experienced the afterlife. I experienced heaven. I experienced this the love and acceptance that is heaven. And I didn't, I didn't, after that, I didn't fear death anymore. I didn't have a fear of death because I knew where my spirit was going to go after that. But I still retained all the clinical science and things like that. But I was more this spiritual novice, I guess, like this, I became one of these tree hugger type people or something like that. And so all my friends are like, man, you're kind of weird now. But that prompted me to just, I took a year off in 2014, kind of soul searching, kind of looking for a different direction in life because I wasn't fulfilled. And then a friend of mine, Wendy, I had a moral crisis with being a part of Big Pharma, so I quit. And so my brother, who's a dentist, he was kind of planning his retirement, and he was looking at life insurance and being educating people. So I did that for about a year. And my friend Wendy asked me to look at Kangen with her. And she said, Sam, you used to be a scientist, right? Like, could you help me look at the science of this Kangen thing, this Kangen water? And I was kind of rolling my eyes like, water's water, like, just like everyone else, like water's water. It's not a big deal, right? And so when I saw the demo, and specifically when I saw Chisako, one of my Wendy's upline, she did the oil. She did the 11.5 in the oil, and like my jaw dropped. I'm like, whoa, like you just broke the laws of physics or organic chemistry or something there, because water and oil don't mix. So what the heck is going on here? And then give me some of that. Are you sure it's not like Windex or like 409 or some kind of cleaning? And I drank it. I'm like, yeah, it's water. I mean, tastes tastes like minerals, tastes like salt. So I'm like, what is going on here? So I went and I did the research on it. And let me share something with you guys that led me to essentially live my second life now. Okay, so here. So I did research on it here. And then can you guys see that? I Googled something here. Give me a thumbs up if you see what I Googled there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So advanced research on reduced water, right? And so this paper right here was the first paper I read. Okay. So trends in food, science, and technology. Advanced research on the health benefits of reduced water. And look at the authors. Whoops. Look at the authors. Like Nataka Shihirata, Hamasaki Teruyu. So I'm like, wait, these are like Japanese scientists. Like these look like Japanese names. And so how come like Japanese scientists are researching water? Meanwhile, I'm over here researching drugs, right? And so I'm like, what's going on here? Like science should be science around the world. Like just like math, 2 + 2 is equal to 4. Is that the same in England? It is, right?
I think so.
It is, right? And so how come the science in America is not the same science in Japan? Right? And then take a picture of this, guys, and read this paper. It's not so nerdy of a paper because mostly research papers like they put you to sleep. But find this paper and really understand how this technology works. And so I'm going to show you guys something here. So I'm going to scroll here. But there's this one figure that really drove the point home for me here. This figure. Let's see if I can download a full-size image here. Okay, so can you guys see that okay? Good?
Yes.
Okay, so at the very top left, clinical applications of this water, ERW, to kidney disease. I'm like, we're going to see so much kidney disease in the next 5-10 years, guys, because of microplastics, right? And then in the middle, on the upper middle there, reactive oxygen species scavenging effects. So that's antioxidation, you know. And then on the upper right is lifespan elongation. Nematodes are like little worms that they do research on. Lifespan elongation. Okay, and then we got anti-cancer effects. And you know, like this, like I was just learning about the science of all this. It wasn't even medical claims or anything. I'm like, wow, there's some research that backs this stuff up. You know, at the bottom there, it's anti-diabetes, you know, and then you got like on the left side on the bottom, you got anti-allergy effects, you know, and so all sorts of stuff. So my allergies went away after I started drinking this water. I used to have seasonal allergies. Every spring, the tree pollen would come out, and I would have all sorts of things, right? But I don't have any of those. And then there's a where is it? Oh, almost to the on the left here, almost to the very bottom, the second from the bottom, it says anti-hangover effect. You guys see that? Right? How many of you guys have tested that before?
I
And
had.
it works, right? It works, right? It's so crazy. Like I'll go out and I'll go drinking with the guys, or just, you know, like New Year's Eve or something. And then I'll come home and drink a bunch of that water. And then New Year's Day, like I'm out skiing. And my friend's like, how are you up like at 6 a.m. when we didn't get home till like 2 a.m. or something like that? You know, and Don's like, I don't know, it's just magic water, you know? But yeah, this is the paper that really kind of led me down this path. And I'll be doing Kangen. I'll be on Mr. Oshiro's team for the rest of my life. You know,
Me
because
too.
this literally to me is the holy grail of science, you guys. So, but I'll pause it there. I'll pause it there and then let you guys ask some questions. Um, but find you know, find that paper, right? And so this is we're not making any health claims. This is just fact. This is science. We're not talking like you know, Bill Gates science or Fauci science. We're talking literally stuff that actually works, you know. And so we're not talking big pharma science. We're talking like fundamentals of you breathe oxygen, you drink water, and you need sunshine, and it's fundamental science. It's not all this weird, you know, manipulating genes and really complicated science. This is fundamental science, right? And so yeah, so that's how I got started, guys, and it's been an amazing journey. I'm 6A2 right now. I don't really build a really big team. I just believe in the product, and I just go and I'm a snowboard and ski instructor during the winter, and during the summer I'm out skateboarding and going fishing and whitewater rafting. So I'm using this to build my life basically, you know, because I'm 51 now, and my friends say, "Wow, you really active. Like your skin is super good for
I
51."
know. Your skin is
Yeah,
shining.
and it's the beauty water, guys. Okay, it's the beauty water. But for the guys, we call it handsome water, but it's the exact same thing as beauty water. We just call it something different because guys are. But,
Handsome water. Who wants some
yeah,
handsome
handsome water
water?
for the guys. Okay, for women it's called beauty water. For men, it's handsome water. So, what can I help you guys with? What questions can I answer? Like, how can I help you guys grow your business?
No,
Michelle got sorry, and can you guys type in the chat box with your question, please? Michelle, and Jeanette and I, we experience the same detoxification
Mhm.
symptoms. We are very similar. We're very healthy. We exercise a lot. We are very mindful of what we eat, and so. And when I first had my Kangen, I first drank Kangen water. When I got the machine, I drank straight to 9.5. I couldn't. I have to lie down for 3 days. I thought I was super healthy. I was training 5 to 7 days a week, high intensity workout, kickboxing, yoga, all sorts of really, high workout, very intense. But then I didn't understand why I was so sick. I felt nauseous. I had diarrhea. I had headache. I couldn't breathe properly. I had to lie down for 3 days.
Mm.
And I think it's very similar to Michelle. Michelle's Tika share 9.5 water with Michelle. Michelle, I think she had some 9.5 and then she felt very unwell.
Mm.
And she was sick and she threw up in the middle of the night. And Jeanette also very healthy, and she said she had to lie down for 3 days as well.
Mm.
Is that a reason why? Why people I know people who are very sick, like my parents, when they drank 9.5, and I know a lot of people who are very sick. When they drink 9.5, they feel very healthy, have lots of energy. But
Yeah.
people who are super healthy like us, when we start drinking 9.5, it's like, whoa, how come we're going through this detoxification symptom? That is the biggest puzzle for me and for us.
Okay. Yeah. So it's there are things that make us healthy, right? Like sunshine and fresh fruits and vegetables, right? And there are things that make us sick. So when we have symptoms, essentially when we have symptoms of toxicity, like let me see if I can go back and share this with you guys here. So share screen again. So I don't know, have you guys let's see. There it is. Can you guys see that? Okay.
Yes.
The process of detoxification and elimination. So I don't know if anyone's ever really told you how the body works. Like I never got the instruction manual when I was born, so I kind of had to figure this out. Like, hey, I need 8 hours of sleep. I need to drink some water. I need some fresh vegetables and stuff, and I need loving parents that like support and build my self-belief and things like that, right? Well, your body is designed to process food and eliminate it, you know? And so when you are living in a world that has a lot of processed foods and you don't grow your vegetables, a lot of chemicals are coming in. If you guys just look around your room right now, like how much stuff is made out of plastic around your room. Just go and look around your room real quick and see how much stuff is made from chemicals, how much stuff is like you could pick off a tree and is natural. Like our environment is not very natural anymore. And so we're always getting plastic and chemicals and paints and things in our daily life. If you brush your teeth this morning, there's chemicals in your toothbrush. I mean, not in your toothpaste, right? That mint flavor toothpaste, Do you really think there's mint that they squeeze some mint and put it in your toothpaste? No, it's probably a chemical that smells like mint and tastes like mint. You know what I mean? So we're always getting these chemicals in. And so when, and these chemicals come in on the left side, right, via our lungs, our skin, and our gut, and they're processed by the liver, right in the middle there. And these toxins are supposed to leave the body via sweat, via the skin. Kidneys, you go number 1, colon, you go number 2, and lungs, you exhale the toxins, right? You guys ever hang out around someone that has been drinking a lot of alcohol and they breathe on you? You could smell the ketones, you could smell the alcohol in their breath. Yeah,
Yes.
that's how toxins leave the body, in one of these 4 ways, right? But as we live in a modern society, we have excess toxins. We have things that come into our body that we can't, it's coming in too quick. And so if they're fat soluble toxins on the left there, they get stored in the fat cells, bone marrow, liver, and central nervous system. If they're water soluble, they're going to get stored in your joints, your blood, your tissue, and muscles on the right-hand side there, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you are drinking this water and you're detoxing, right, you're getting rid of these toxins from their storage, right? So when you're sick, you're actually sick from the chemicals moving out.
Okay.
Right? Even if you're healthy, even if you've been vegan for 40 years, right? If you buy your vegetables from Whole Foods or the grocery store or Safeway, whatever store you have there, it probably doesn't have any bug bites. You know, your apples in London and Great Britain there, do you guys have, you know, when you buy apples from the store, is there wormholes?
No, they look perfect.
They look perfect, right? How come those apples are so perfect? You see
chemicals they spray on them.
Exactly.
Chemicals.
Yeah, right. And so over decades, you know, I'm 51 now, so I've been eating for about 50 years, you know, 51 years. And so how many chemicals are in my body? Right. And that's what we're reacting to. When we drink this water, we are detoxing those chemicals. And some people break out on their skin. Some people have a rash because, you know, leaving the skin, you know, like a lot of women wear makeup, right? I don't wear much makeup, or at least I'm trying to quit, you know. But you know, a lot of women have like skin issues because of makeup. Well, if you look at like what is makeup, like, would you take a lipstick and would you eat it, Lina?
No, if I
You wouldn't, right?
lipstick I am using, I make sure they're chemicals free.
Yeah, but for most women, like you wouldn't like open the lipstick and take a bite of it and chew on it, right? You wouldn't, right? Right, because you know it's made out of chemicals. But when you put it on your skin, when you put on your lips, those chemicals are coming into your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And same thing with lotion. You know, you have dry skin, you eat lotion. Would you eat it like a cup of yogurt? Your lotion. You wouldn't, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because
you know it's chemicals, but you put it on your skin and it goes inside too. Right. And so when we are detoxing, when we're drinking this water, this is what happens. We get these chemicals out. It's the chemicals moving around that we're having the reactions from. Right. We definitely want them out. So hopefully this you know, and then all these chemicals, they accumulate in the body, right? And then you have signs of acne, skin rashes, allergies, you know, diabetes, all sorts of chronic fatigue, you know, all these lists. So these aren't really diseases, guys. These are actually symptoms of toxicity. They've just been called diseases, you know, but there is no such a thing as disease. Either you're healthy, either you live in ease, or you live in dis-ease, right? Either you live in ease or dis-ease. So if you live in dis-ease, that means you just have too much toxins, basically. So you have to get those toxins out, right? So this is why I share with people, because, you know, we can't make medical claims, and I don't make medical claims. I tell them that this is, you know, we're helping people get rid of chemicals from their body, right? But Yeah, so that's my explanation, and it helps people understand how their body actually works, you know. Right.
Mhm.
So does that help, Lina?
Yes, it really helped. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Any other, what else you guys got? Like how successful have you guys been at sharing this with friends and family? They're the toughest customers, right? Right?
yeah,
Do you know why your friends and family are the toughest customers?
I know. They're the toughest
Why
customer.
is that? Why is that?
Um,
What do you guys think? And you guys maybe unmute yourself and see if you have an idea. Why is your family the hardest one to get through?
Because they want to protect us or something like this.
They want
They
to
want
protect
to
us from water?
no to protect us from the business, you know, because they don't have any experience of it, and they just want to warn us, just to make sure that we don't go in a direction we can regret it, and that's why they are, because there's a link in between us, to deep family, friends, and this link sometimes can be. This is what I notice me at the moment. I mean, through my friends, and maybe not too much family, but from the friends, this is the way I feel them. You know, like they're trying to warn me. Like MLM, it's a scam or thing like this. You know, so which
Yeah,
I don't believe. You know, because
true,
I
true.
understand the product. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
so when same thing happened to me when I started. I
Mm.
was like, I was sharing with my to this day, my sister doesn't have a machine. All my brothers have a machine, but my sister doesn't have a machine, and we're all medical, like our whole family's medical. And I wonder why, like even my parents didn't believe me, initially. And I'm like, Mom, Dad, you guys paid for my school, right? You guys paid for my college. And you were so proud of me working for a cancer research company. You're so proud of me, because I was, but here I am telling you about water and getting the chemicals out of your body. And you were like, you didn't believe me, but you believed the doctor that prescribes you the pill, right? The pills, right? And I used to teach doctors. I'm like,
This is marketing.
yeah, marketing. It's purely marketing.
Marketing.
So we have to remember that we're dealing with an industry that spends more on marketing than it does on research, right? It's a business, right? And it's a very effective business. It's very effective marketing, right? What's the symbol for Nike?
it's like a tick.
Yeah, a swoosh,
Yeah.
right? Okay, what's the slogan for Nike?
Just do it.
Just do it, right? So how does everyone in the world know that?
Marketing.
Very good marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah, right. So we have to be aware that we are being propagandized. There's propaganda, right? We all know in China, their whole society is in propaganda, right? We all know maybe well, definitely in North Korea, right? They're being propagandized, right? Marketing, right? But isn't the same thing happening in South Korea?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Isn't the same thing happening in the USA and in your country and in Russia? This whole world is marketing, right? So you have to know, you have to be aware that's what we've been subjected to, right? And the way to get past that is not to challenge that marketing directly, because you know in my family, guys, I'm the fun uncle. Okay. I'm the uncle that goes surfing, that goes skateboarding, that skiing and snowboarding. I'm the fun uncle. Okay. So whatever I tell them that's really serious and really important information is coming from the fun uncle, the goofy uncle, right? And so it's not, if I was a doctor, I would say something and they probably believe me. But in their eyes, I'm the fun uncle. True. So I'm like a book that's being judged by its cover. Okay. And the same thing is happening to me is happening to you guys. Right. And so what Lina has done here is Lina has invited you to come meet me. Right. So I'm a new book in your life. I'm a new character. I'm a new actor in your life. So I could be Superman. You know, I don't, right? I could be a scientist. I am a scientist, right? But this is how we share the message. We use a third party, someone that's a blank slate, someone that we could edify, someone that has a career or a past or some kind of credibility. Because for some reason, when I tell my children, you know, they don't believe me. But if I whisper into my brother's ear, "Hey, bro, can you tell my kids this?" And then he tells them, they listen to him. Isn't that strange? Have you guys experienced that?
Yes.
Right. So Eric, I saw you laughing there. It seems like you've had some experience with that before, right? Right. And so just understand that how we get this message across, how we get the truth across, is we have to use a third party, right? Because it's very frustrating for me to know about science and to understand how the world works and the medical world, right? And then to tell people, but they saw me as a ski instructor, right? They saw me as a skateboarder. They saw me as a surfer. They didn't see me as such, because that's how I showed up in their life. I showed up as a drinking buddy, right? And so that's why it's important for you guys to like that we have to help each other in this world, because the truth goes through three phases, right? First, it's ridiculed. Who here has experienced ridicule because you shared this truth? Like, raise your hands.
Ridicule. What do you, yeah.
Like, criticize, right? Someone's been, you know, you shared this truth, right? Water is pretty simple. It's true what we're doing, right? Who here has been ridiculed? Right?
All the
Okay.
time.
That's the first phase, okay? The second phase of truth that has to go through is it's violently opposed. Okay. So who here has gone to Thanksgiving where it's kind of weird with the family now? Because you know you don't want to talk about water anymore because you know you're the water
Oh, big
guy,
time.
you know what I mean? It's kind of weird now, right? And the third phase is that it's finally accepted as truth. And so we're getting closer and closer to that third phase now, right? But we have to go through all three phases, right? And so the past couple years, you know, because of the pandemic and my views on the pandemic, it was a little awkward. But now that we're coming out of the pandemic, a lot of people are inviting me to social events and they want me to speak because I haven't changed my story since the beginning. You know, Lina, what was I saying? What was I saying about the pandemic early on?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Sam. I remember I just came back from Asia at the time. I was traveling around Southeast Asia. I came back to London. I saw your video and I started following you. And then you said you started telling people before the lockdown, before the pandemic, you said it's a pandemic. And you invited me to attend a Zoom meeting with quite a lot of scientists and doctors. Some of them were disease control doctors and scientists. And thank you for educating us about the pandemic. And I've seen you sharing a lot on Facebook. I think were you shut down by Facebook for a while? I don't know.
I'm a Facebook convict. I have a rap sheet on Facebook. I've been convicted several times.
Yeah, sometimes how come I couldn't see Sam anymore? He was in Facebook jail. Some of my friends too. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, we're all human. We're all trying to just maximize our human experience. Hopefully we have 80, 90, 100 years. I'm trying to get to 100. I'm halfway there, but we're trying to live our best life, right? We're really all just trying to live our best life. We're not trying to become dependent on, someone to do something for us. Like we're grown adults. Children will be dependent, and it's okay to take care of children, but I don't want anyone to take care of me. I can take care of myself, right? And so when I hear of a drug company that is going to help me out by handling this disease, for me, working at a drug company, I know that we make great money. That's why I was paid, 6 figures. I was paid, 175 a year.
Wow.
Back in 2014. And that was fantastic money. I only have a 4-year degree, guys. I'm not a PhD or a doctor or anything like that. But it was such an aha moment for me to go visit my parents and see all their drugs that they're on. They're on blood thinners, diabetes, heart medication, incontinence. Also, like every parent has a wicker basket of pills, right? A little basket. Every grandma and grandpa has a basket of pills.
I know.
And I was sitting there thinking, am I a good son or am I a bad son? Because I work at the company and I collect a paycheck from the company that makes these pills. And my parents are on all these pills. And so some of my paycheck is coming from my parents. So am I a good son or am I a bad son? And so I had this moral crisis, and I said, I can't be a part of this, because they weren't getting any better. They were just being maintained, So I had to leave, But the whole thing about anything from an expert, okay? If the expert is talking all sorts of fancy words and fancy math and fancy logic and all this stuff, like, you have to be able to decipher, okay, does this person really know what they're talking about? And so I know what science is about. I know science is just another language, just like lawyers. And so I don't really abide by all the new science. I abide by nature. Nature is a scientist too, So keep it simple, right? So it's food, fresh fruits and vegetables, water, sunshine, sleep, laughs and love from people, right? Community. Nowhere in there is it like modifying your genetics. Like, we should not be messing around genetics, any kind of genetics, right? And so that's why when I started to, when I saw this thing coming, I was like, I can't be a part of this. I just cannot, But yeah, so, but anyways, in the point of sharing this amazing product and amazing mission that we're on, learn to leverage each other. Learn to share. What do they say, Lina? Data tells, but stories sell.
Yes.
Right. So share your story. Share your journey. Right. Because we're all in this together. We're all in this life together. We have 80 years. Hopefully, we get to travel around the world and it's not locked down again. Hopefully we're healthy and we can go visit each other, because it's a short ride. At 42, my ride could have been over. I could have gone into I did go into a coma, but I could have died, right? I could have been brain damaged. I could have been a vegetable. And that really shifted my thinking about my life. So from 42 on, I was kind of reborn. I'm going to speak my truth. Right? And if people don't believe the truth, then they can they can hit their own head. I don't know. Like, I thought I knew everything, but I didn't wear a helmet, and I cracked my head open, and I didn't do prevention, right? So I got treatment. Thank goodness I came out of that treatment, upgraded. I got upgraded in appreciation for health, appreciation for life, right? But some people, I mean, they want to pay full price. They want to get to the very edge and then pay all their life savings into some healthcare system, and then so they can get 2 more months. For me, I'm going to maximize my life. I'm going to keep my income, and I'm going to leave it for my children.
Yeah,
that's what the goal.
Amazing. And Enagic business plan allows us to leave a legacy behind. So Sam, I received a long question from Michelle. Is that okay? I read out what she said.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Michelle said, when I drank a pint of water, ForeverKangen pH 9.5, I felt bloated and my throat felt like an abrasion. That afternoon, I felt very cold. The next morning, I didn't feel myself at the gym, and I didn't want my usual treats in the cafe, flat white with oat milk. I went home from the gym and went to bed, canceling a treatment I had booked. She's an osteopath. Headache and vomiting in the night, upper back pain, dry, tickly throat, loose stools, no appetite. I have not regained my desire for drinking coffee. It has been a daily treat, but also an obsession associated with pleasure, relaxation, treats, and reward. My one vice. That this I find remarkable. And welcome, because any obsession is not good. Can you explain from the science?
Yeah. So she started drinking 9.5 right away?
Yes.
Right? Okay. So I'll give you guys an example, right? So she was experiencing detox. Let me share this thing again here.
Michelle is here and Tika is here. Tika shared 9.5 with you, Michelle.
There you go. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes.
So you see under side effects and signs of toxicity, you see this diarrhea here, right?
I had it as well when I first drank Kangen.
Neurological disorders, right? Yeah. So chemicals cause all this, okay? But there's no chemicals in the water. So where did the chemicals come from? You know what I mean? When she drank that water, there were chemicals that she had a reaction to, right? But there's no chemicals. There's no chemicals in this, right? So where did her chemicals come from that she was detoxing? She told you in her question. What's a flat white? What is that? Is that a type of coffee?
I think it's just latte with oat milk.
Yeah.
Is that right, Michelle? It's a latte with oat milk.
Right. So remember the things that we're getting into the body, and it was a daily, like over here we have Starbucks, right? You guys have Starbucks there, but people are drinking these rainbow colored or these pumpkin spice Starbucks.
I know.
Right? Pumpkin spice. And I ask you, do you think like Starbucks, there's someone with a job at Starbucks where they're squeezing pumpkins and they're getting pumpkin extract so they can give you 2 pumps of pumpkin extract, like real pumpkin? Or do you think it's a chemical that is probably tastes like pumpkin? I don't know, or smells like pumpkin in your pumpkin spice latte, right? So we don't think about this anymore, right? And so when you drink this water, it's helping you to detox all these chemicals, and it's the chemicals leaving the body that's giving us the symptoms. And so that's why we have 3 levels of the water. We have 8.5 to start because it's gentle, right? Because detox can be pretty bad, right? 8.5, I recommend people 8.5 for a week, and then go up to 9, right, for the second week. And for the third week, stay at 9.5, right? And how many of you guys have ever gone on a juice cleanse where you're juicing apples and celery, right? How was the first 1 or 2 days, Paul, on the juice cleanse?
Really dizzy, really disorientated.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. So you got dizzy from drinking celery and apple juice for like a day or 2. Isn't that interesting? Right? But did you equate it to, did you blame the juice cleanse for your symptoms, or what was going through your mind? Right? So a lot of times it's the detox. It's just detox. Most of the time it's detox. You know, I've never come across a person that was allergic to water, that had some medical condition that was like they reacted and they broke out in hives because of the water, right? And if someone is really allergic to water, then they've got some really big issues on this planet. You know, if you're allergic to air, ooh, that's going to be rough. Right? You know what I mean? You might be allergic to the chemicals in the air. That's more believable. But if you're allergic to oxygen, yeah, it's not going to go too well. You know what I mean?
Sam, what do you reckon? So a person who just started drinking Kangen should start with 8.5, not straight to 9.5.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people who are sharing Kangen water, they share 9.5 because they said because the person who's collecting the water is traveling in a car. So because the movement affects the molecular hydrogen in the water, so they said we lose some of the hydrogen. That's why they share 9.5. So what's your advice?
Yeah, just start with the 8.5 still. Even though it's moving around, you'll lose some of the hydrogen. You know, the electricity will go down a little bit, but it'll just be a gentler process, right? Because sometimes when you do something as drastic as a juice cleanse, you know, most people quit the juice cleanse because they feel horrible after the first or second day. It's like there's no way I can continue this for a week, you know, or a month. You know, I tried to go vegan for like I think 30 days, and I think after the 5th day, I was like, I gotta have a steak. Sorry guys, I quit. Like I gotta have some chicken, I gotta have some fish, like I gotta have some like, you know, that's just how it goes. Like, you know, you have to develop new habits over time. You can't like just quit cold turkey. You know, someone who's gonna quit smoking cigarettes is good for you, right? But the very first day or maybe the second day, I mean, they're going through like chemical withdrawal almost. It's like crazy, you know? And so the same thing when we're changing the 75% of our body that is this water, it's going to have a big impact, you know?
Yeah, I did. When I first met you, that was 2020 during a lockdown. I did the 7 days water fasting. I didn't eat for 7 days. I was going through all sorts of detoxification symptoms. I threw up. I think the second day or third day, I had headache. I felt very cold. I think on day 5 and 6 and 7, I was full of energy. I was feeling really high.
Yeah, because you're not carrying all that toxic load, you know, and the symptoms from that, you know, from that toxic load. Every person is carrying around probably like 5 or 10 pounds of toxins in their body, you know, and that's what slows them down. And then they drink a Red Bull or Monster Energy to get some energy drink, right? And then it's full of chemicals again, right? Let me see. There's a question about pesticides. Let me see. Let me look this up.
Does the experiment with TB? Okay. So Annabelle asked, does the experiment with T-bag really demonstrate the microstructure? What about the one with tomato? Is that pesticide removal or red pigment of tomato?
No, so let me so there's let me see here. So I'm looking something up on let me go ahead and share you guys can see what I'm kind of looking here. Oops, where'd it go? There it is. I need to make this larger. Share screen. Okay. So I'm just going on just Google Scholar here. So ERW and pesticides. Okay. Okay, so there's an article here. I haven't read this article here, guys, but I could share you guys how they do change the they use high pH and low pH water to reduce certain kinds of chemicals, because when you change the pH of the water, that changes the structure of the oil-based pesticides, and that's how you can emulsify oil, right? So I haven't read this article, but you'll be able to electrolyze water. Okay, so let me see here. So, but I can send this out to you guys, but there should be more. But it is pesticides. It reduces, I think, about 70% of pesticides, right? Let me see here, reduction factor. Here's one in PubMed, right? There it is. Reduction of pesticide residues on fresh vegetables with electrolyzed water treatment. And interesting, these look like Chinese scientists, right? Different countries, right? Look at it says here, degradation of the 3 pesticides, whatever here, all these names, by electrolyzed reduced water was investigated, right? And so, yeah, we're actually, they're talking about 11.6 ORP, different water here, that's minus 860 millivolts, right? So yeah, it all checks out, guys. That's why I'm still associated with this company. If it wasn't checking out scientifically, I wouldn't be here. One of the reasons why I left Big Pharma was it didn't check out anymore. The pharmaceutical industry does not check out for me. The more drugs I take, the less healthy I get. Right? The more of this water I take, the more healthy I get. That's the most basic experiment there is, but yeah, you can look these up. PubMed is a great site. You have to look at electrolyzed, reduced water, electrolyzed oxidized water, ERW and EOW. Okay, and then on PubMed here, you can look up, let's say ERW. Oops. RW and cancer. Let's see what comes up here. You guys see that? ERW delays mammary tumors in mice and inhibits breast cancer cell survival in vitro. There you go. So no medical claims. I'm just saying here's the science.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There you go. And so, if you guys really want to go to sleep early, you could read one of these medical papers. I guarantee you'll be asleep in like 10 minutes. Right? I read a bunch of these papers and I'm sitting there like, what am I doing reading about, like I'm reading about drinking water. Why don't I just go drink the water? That's the best kind of research there is. We've all gotten into this medical world where we're hearing all these guys in white lab coats and bow ties or whatever, talking all this weird science, modulating immune systems and genetic alteration of this and mutations. And I'm like, you guys, it's really simple. We're human beings on this planet. We have to adapt. This body is extremely complicated, and I'm not going to let some guy with a lab coat with a 4-year degree or an 8-year degree mess around with this well-engineered, what's a really expensive watch? Swiss, like a Swiss watch. What's the most expensive watch that is
Rolex.
A Rolex. Like your body is more complicated than a Rolex.
Yeah.
Okay? And you're going to let some chemist mix something up and then give it to you? Like, no, that's not going to happen.
It's not the body the most complex things in the world.
Yeah.
The body, human body. So
yeah, it is.
They said, so.
Right.
I think there's a question Nick asked, can you send links to some studies based on Kangen water specifically? Kangen water is just a brand name. The scientific name is electrolyte reduced water.
ERW.
And Michelle also asked, she sent me some links to other restructured water, the many different brands. Why is Kangen, Enagic's Kangen machine is the best? She asked, is it because of the multi-level structure? Is that why it's more expensive?
No, it's if you look on the certifications on the Enagic website, I have to get going here. I gotta go pick up my daughter from school, but it's because of the 99.97% pure platinum. Okay, so if you look on the if you read on the corporate website, you'll see like how the machine is engineered. It's 99.97% pure platinum in these machines. Platinum, and then it's dipped in titanium twice. These metals are extremely expensive metals. They do not rust. Okay. So so this is what makes this a medical device, because of the engineering, because of the components that they use. If you buy a machine made in China, what kind of purity of platinum are they using? What do you think? Is it 99.97% pure? Probably not. And that's why, so for a number of years, people were doing these vape pens. They're vaping like CBD and stuff like that. So they buy like a $20 vape pen or maybe $100 vape pen, and they have this cartridge of CBD or THC that they vape, right? And there's a heating element. It heats up the oil and it makes it smoky, right? So that heating element is made out of metal, correct? Right? And it's heating and cooling, heating and cooling. So when you heat and cool metal, does the metal break down? It does. And so that's why all these kids are having lung issues, because they've been smoking all this heavy metal, right? And so this is why you have to, whatever you smoke, eat, breathe, watch on TV, you have to be very careful about the quality of the content that's coming in. If I was just watching Jerry Springer, I don't know if you have Jerry Springer, but one of these shows on TV that have all sorts of broken families and stuff. If I was watching that stuff and putting my kid in front of that TV, man, my kid's brain is going to be messed up. If I was watching CNN 24/7, man, my brain would be messed up. So we have to be very careful about the quality of the things that we're putting into our life. And since our body is mostly water, like, let's just start there with the water. But hey, Lina, sorry, I have to run and pick up my daughter because she has an appointment to get to. But let's do this. Let's do this once a month, because I have a lot to share with you, and I just want to help Mr. Oshiro's mission of changing lives around the world. And I'm a scientist, but I can speak to scientists and kind of break down their theory of complexity. Because simple is the most complex thing you can do.
Yes, indeed.
Nature is very complex.
A lot of questions coming up, though.
Yeah,
so
no worries. Okay, but I hope that was helpful for you guys. I'm a chatty guy, as you guys can tell. I'm a chatterbox. But let's do this again next month or in a couple weeks or whatever.
Yeah, sure. So what, is Tuesday good for you or other day?
Yeah, Tuesdays are good. Yeah, this would be a great time. So I'll coordinate with you, because I'm spending a lot of time every ski season. I spend about 40 days up in the mountains. So I'll do a Zoom with you guys up in the mountain.
Wow, I've seen lots of your video and pictures of skiing.
Yeah. Or some beach. I'll be on some beach. Like one week I'll be in the mountain, and next week I'll be in India or some I'll be in Bali or something. So, but
next year,
let us know, Sam. We can join with you.
Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Let's travel the world. Let's be healthy and like show people what life is about.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Sorry, so sorry guys that you couldn't get all your answers, questions, sorry, all your questions answered. The other way around. Yeah, so send me the questions. I'll forward to Sam next time, or you can connect to Sam on Facebook. He's very kind. Most of the time, he do answer your questions, and follow him on Facebook. He got lots and lots of stuff to share with us, to educate us.
Sometimes I'm pretty like I put Facebook for me is stream of consciousness. For me, Facebook, I put out stuff that's on my mind, and I don't have a filter. Right? I try not to filter because social media is not very authentic, right? And so I'm trying to be authentic on Facebook, and sometimes it rubs people the wrong way that I say that, I say things as I see them, right? And it's just a freedom of speech, right? And thank goodness that we're not being censored anymore. Oh, maybe. But, all right, guys, love you so much, and then let's get together again soon, okay?
Thank you, Lina.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Can you unmute yourself and say thank you to Sam, everyone?
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Excellent
Thank you, Sam.
presentation today.
Thank you,
Really
Sam.
looking forward to the next one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lina.
Thank you, Lina, too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Lina. See you.
Argentina,
Bye, Lina. Thank you.
Bye, Lina. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.